4. And his competition in this match at 210 pounds from Vancouver, British Columbia, Verne Siebert. Verne Siebert. This is going to be quite a match. Moose Morowski, a very, very aggressive wrestler. He is the most traveled professional wrestler in Canada. He has just completed a world tour. He was in Germany and Austria. He was the first Canadian to ever win the world tournament in Hanover, Germany. And he's up against Verne Siebert. Verne is in his first year of professional wrestling, and he's going to have to go some to keep up with this fella. Moose Morowski, incidentally, Master Sergeant Tomko paid $5,000 to have Moose Morowski join Tomko's army for just the match that's coming up, of course, against Bulldog Bob Brown. That'll be coming up in the PNE Gardens. And boy, I'll tell you, that should be quite a match. $5,000 just to get him on his team. I think, frankly, the word is, or at least the fans tell me, and I don't know whether this is true, of course, but that Master Sergeant Tomko has got Moose Morowski on his team because Master Sergeant Tomko would really be frightened to wrestle Bob Brown without a guy like Moose Morowski. Now, of course, I don't know if there's any truth to that, but Master Sergeant Tomko, if I can just get him over to our microphone here for a minute, I'm going to ask him that question. I'll just let him...
Now you see, Ed, why I wanted this man in my army, because every move he makes is a scientific move, a calculated move to win a match. Every move is calculated to win.
Well, he certainly is a very, very aggressive, very experienced wrestler. No question about that, Master Sergeant Tomko. But I want you to know that I heard from a couple of the fans, and they say that you paid $5,000.
That's right, $5,000.
Well, they tell me that you paid $5,000 to have Moose Morowski on your team because you're frightened of him.
Nope. I'll tell you something. When you pay a man $5,000, it might be I'm frightened of him. It's better to have him on my team because, as you saw last week, exactly the damage that that man did to me. Let me tell you something. Him and I are on the same level. And it's going to take a good team to beat Moose Morowski and myself.
Well, Master Sergeant, I got to agree with you that I must say that if I had my druthers, I'd rather have a guy like Moose Morowski on my team than against me.
That's right. As I said, just watch those moves.
Thank you, Master Sergeant Tomko. Moose Morowski and Verne Siebert. And I think Verne Siebert is really going to have to go some. Now, you have to appreciate that Verne Siebert is in his first year of professional wrestling. And, of course, he's up against a real formidable competitor here in Moose Morowski. Verne Siebert getting pushed into the turnbuckles. Siebert is 210 pounds compared to 270 pounds for Moose Morowski.
It's an open hand, you notice that? It's an open hand.
Yeah, Master Sergeant Tomko is down at ringside, and he's kind of coaching Moose Morowski along. Not that Moose Morowski needs very much coaching. As you can see, he drops an elbow onto Verne Siebert. Master Sergeant Tomko keeping an eye on the situation. Oh, look at Morowski. Into a body slam. There you get a look at the Master Sergeant. Coaching Moose along. Up and over into the body slam. Verne Siebert is really taken. That's it. Taking a lot of pressure, and it's all over already. Moose Morowski did that one in less than 3 minutes against Verne Siebert. Moose Morowski. We'll get a chance to drop down and have a quick conversation with him. I think that's one of the shortest matches that we've seen on All-Star Wrestling in the last little while.
What took you so long? 3.5 minutes to beat a man.
You know, it didn't take 3 minutes. It just took me 3 minutes to get wound up because it takes a little bit to get the great Moose Morowski going. And once he punched me a couple of times, that was it. You know, Mr. Pro, I got one thing to say right now, and I'm saying it straight to your face. I'm not two-faced. I'm not going behind nobody's back. I got a surprise for you coming. I might be coming out there with the Black Avenger mask. I'm not saying it for sure. You might be the best masked man in Canada. I am the best in the world. Take a look at my track record all the way around the world. My matches, my wrestling matches prove for themselves. Every place I've gone, I'm number one all the time. And I'm coming back here, and I'll be number one because I got the great Sergeant Al Tomko with me right now. This is the first time I've ever shook a wrestler's hand for the last 5 years. And I'm doing it now because I honestly think he's a great man.
Let me tell you something. 3.5 minutes. Well, let me tell you. 3.5 minutes, Verne Siebert. That was a wrestling lessons that should cost you about $1,000. Now, let me tell you. Now you people know why I've got this man in my army. Because, as Bulldog Brown said, he's got that jaw-flapping, bulldog-looking character, Buzz Tyler. He said he might be here in his corner. Well, let me tell you something. I'll look after you, Bulldog, and Moose Morowski here will look after Buzz Tyler. Let me say this one more thing. A stretcher match, well, let me tell you, Bulldog Brown, you're a fool. You're a